Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video you will watch history of Airbus A380. From early beginnings in 1988 until the end of this airplane, 2021. There will be a lot of informations with excellent video views. The Airbus A380 is a wide-body aircraft manufactured by Airbus. It is the world's largest passenger airliner. Airbus studies started in 1988, and the project was announced in 1990. The first prototype was unveiled in Toulouse on January 18, 2005, with its first flight on April 27, 2005. It was first delivered to Singapore Airlines on October 15, 2007 and entered service on 25 October. Production peaked at 30 per year in 2012 and 2014. On February 14, 2019, Airbus announced that A380 production would end in 2021. Sometimes nicknamed the Super Jumbo, A380 has a typical seating for 525 passengers, with a maximum certified capacity for 853 passengers. It is powered by 4-engine Alliance GP7200 or Rolls-Royce Trent 900 turbofans providing a range of 14,800 kilometers. In mid-1988, Airbus engineers led by Jean Roeder began work in secret on the development of an ultra-high-capacity airliner, both to complete its own range of products and to break the dominance that Boeing had enjoyed in this market segment since the early 1970s with its 747. Roeder was given approval for further evaluations of the UCA after a formal presentation to the President and CEO in June 1990. Airbus organized 4 teams of designers to propose new technologies for its future aircraft designs. The designs were presented in 1992 and the most competitive designs were used. From 1997 to 2000, as the 1997 Asian financial crisis darkened the market outlook, Airbus refined its design, targeting a 15 to 20% reduction in operating costs over the existing Boeing 747-400. The new Airbus design converged on a double-decker layout that provided more passenger volume than a traditional single-deck design. On December 19, 2000, the Supervisory Board of newly restructured Airbus voted to launch a €9.5 billion project to build the A3XX, redesignated as A380, with 50 firm orders from 6 launch customers. The A380 designation was a break from previous Airbus families, which had progressed sequentially from A300 to A340. It was chosen because the number 8 resembles the double-deck cross-section, and is a lucky number in some Asian countries where the aircraft was being marketed. The aircraft configuration was finalized in early 2001. And manufacturing of the first A380 wing box component started on January 23, 2002. The development cost of the A380 had grown to €11.14 billion when the first aircraft was completed. Production. Major structural sections of the A380 are built in France, Germany, Spain, and the United Kingdom. A380 components are provided by suppliers from around the world. The 4 largest contributors, by value, are Rolls-Royce, Safran, United Technologies, and General Electric. Testing. In 2005, 5 A380s were built for testing and demonstration purposes. The first A380, registered FWOW, was unveiled in Toulouse January 18, 2005. It first flew on April 27, 2005. This plane, equipped with Rolls-Royce Trent 900 engines, flew from Toulouse-Blagnac Airport with a crew of 6 headed by Chief Test Pilot Jacques Rosé. Rosé said flying the A380 had been like handling a bicycle. On December 1, 2005, the A380 achieved its maximum design speed of Mach 0.96. In 2006, the A380 flew its first high-altitude test at Addis Ababa Bole International Airport. It conducted its second high-altitude test at the same airport in 2009. On January 10, 2006, it flew to José María Cordova International Airport in Colombia, accomplishing the transatlantic testing, and then it went to El Dorado International Airport to test the engine operation in high-altitude airports. It arrived in North America on February 6, 2006, landing in Iqaluit, Nunavut in Canada for cold weather testing. Entry into service. Nicknamed Super Jumbo, the first A380, MSN 003, registered as 9V SKA, was delivered to Singapore Airlines on October 15, 2007 and entered service on October 25, 2007 with flight number SQ380 between Singapore and Sydney. Passengers bought seats in a charity online auction paying between $560 and $100,380. Emirates was the second airline to receive the A380 and commenced service between Dubai and New York in August 2008. Qantas followed, with flights between Melbourne and Los Angeles in October 2008. By the end of 2008, 890,000 passengers had flown on 2,200 flights. In February 2009, the 1 millionth passenger was flown with Singapore Airlines, and by May of that year 1,500,000 passengers had flown on 4,200 flights. Air France received its first A380 in October 2009. Lufthansa received its first A380 in May 2010. By July 2010, the 31 A380s then in service had transported 6 million passengers on 17,000 flights between 20 international destinations. Airbus delivered the 100th A380 on March 14, 2013 to Malaysia Airlines. In June 2014, over 65 million passengers had flown the A380. And more than 100 million passengers by September 2015, with an availability of 98.5%. In February 2019, Airbus announced it would end A380 production by 2021, after its main customer, Emirates, agreed to drop an order for 39 of the aircraft, replacing it with 40 A330-900s and 30s A350-900s. At the time of the announcement, Airbus had 17 more A380s on its order book to complete before closing the production line, 14 for Emirates and 3 for All Nippon Airways, taking the total number of expected deliveries of the aircraft type to 251. Airbus would have needed more than $90 million profit from the sale of each aircraft to cover the estimated $25 billion development cost of the program. However, the $445 million price tag of each aircraft was not sufficient to even cover the production cost, so with Airbus losing money on each A380, and orders evaporating, it made economic sense to shut down production. Enders stated on February 14, 2019, if you have a product that nobody wants anymore, or you can sell only below production cost, you have to stop it. One reason that the A380 did not achieve commercial viability for Airbus has been attributed to its extremely large capacity being optimized for a hub-and-spoke system, which was projected by Airbus to be thriving when the program was conceived. However, airlines underwent a fundamental transition to a point-to-point system, which gets customers to their destination in one flight instead of 2 or 3. The massive scale of the A380 design was able to achieve a very low cost for passenger seat distance, but efficiency within the hub-and-spoke paradigm was not able to overcome the efficiency of fewer flights required in the point-to-point system. In September 2020, Airbus completed assembly of the final A380 fuselage. 9 aircraft remained to be delivered, 8 for Emirates, 1 for All Nippon Airways, and production operations continued to finish those aircraft. On March 17, 2021, the final Airbus A380, manufacturing serial number 272, made its maiden flight from Toulouse to Hamburg for cabin outfitting. Design. The A380 was initially offered in 2 models, the A380-800 and the A380F. The A380-800's original configuration carried 555 passengers in a 3-class configuration or 853 passengers in a single-class economy configuration. Then in May 2007, Airbus began marketing a configuration with 30 fewer passengers to better reflect trends in premium class accommodation. The second model, the A380F Freighter, would have carried 150 tons of cargo over a range of 10,400 kilometers. Freighter development was put on hold as Airbus prioritized the passenger version, and all orders for freighters were cancelled. Other proposed variants included an A380-900 stretch, seating about 656 passengers, and an extended range version with the same passenger capacity as the A380-800. The A380 is offered with the Rolls-Royce Trent 900 or the Engine Alliance GP7000 turbofan engines. The A380's wings are sized for a maximum takeoff weight over 650 tons to accommodate these future versions. While most of the fuselage is made of aluminium alloys, composite materials comprise more than 20% of the A380's airframe. Carbon fiber reinforced plastic, glass fiber reinforced plastic and quartz fiber reinforced plastic are used extensively in wings. The A380 is the first commercial airliner to have a central wing box made of carbon fiber reinforced plastic. It is also the first to have a smoothly contoured wing cross-section. The wings of other commercial airliners are partitioned spanwise into sections. This flowing continuous cross-section reduces aerodynamic drag. Thermoplastics are used in the leading edges of the slats. The hybrid fiber metal laminate material glass laminate aluminium reinforced epoxy, is used in the upper fuselage and on the stabilizer's leading edges. This aluminium glass fiber laminate is lighter and has better corrosion and impact resistance than conventional aluminium alloys used in aviation. Unlike earlier composite materials, glare can be repaired using conventional aluminium repair techniques. Newer weldable aluminium alloys are used in the A380's airframe. This enables the widespread use of laser beam welding manufacturing techniques, eliminating rows of rivets and resulting in a lighter, stronger structure. High-strength aluminium, type 7449, reinforced with carbon fiber was used in the wing brackets of the first 120 A380s to reduce weight, but cracks have been discovered and new sets of the more critical brackets will be made of standard aluminium 7010, increasing weight by 90 kilograms. It takes 3,600 liters of paint to cover the 3,100 square meters exterior of an A380. The paint is 5 layers thick and weighs about 650 kilograms when dry. Avionics. Airbus used similar cockpit layout, procedures and handling characteristics to other Airbus aircraft, reducing crew training costs. The A380 has an improved glass cockpit, using fly-by-wire flight controls linked to side sticks. The cockpit has 8 15 by 20 cm liquid crystal displays, all physically identical and interchangeable, comprising 2 primary flight displays, 2 navigation displays, 1 engine parameter display, 1 system display and 2 multifunction displays. The MFDs were introduced on the A380 to provide an easy-to-use interface to the flight management system, replacing 3 multifunction control and display units. They include QWERTY keyboards and trackballs, interfacing with a graphical point-and-click display system. The Network Systems Server, NSS, is the heart of A380's paperless cockpit. It eliminates bulky manuals and traditional charts. The NES has enough inbuilt robustness to eliminate onboard backup paper documents. The A380's network and server system stores data and offers electronic documentation, providing a required equipment list, navigation charts, performance calculations, and an aircraft logbook. This is accessed through the MFDs and controlled via the keyboard interface. Passenger provisions. The A380-800's cabin has 550 square meters of usable floor space, 40% more than the next largest airliner, the Boeing 747-8. The cabin has features to reduce traveler fatigue such as a quieter interior and higher pressurization than previous generations of aircraft. The A380 is pressurized to the equivalent altitude of 1,520 meters up to 12,000 meters. It has 50% less cabin noise, 50% more cabin area and volume, larger windows, bigger overhead bins, and 60 centimeters more headroom than the 747-400. The A380's upper and lower decks are connected by 2 stairways, one fore and one aft, with both being wide enough to accommodate 2 passengers side by side. This cabin arrangement allows multiple seat configurations. The maximum certified carrying capacity is 853 passengers in an all-economy class layout. Airbus lists the typical 3-class layout as accommodating 525 passengers, with 10 first, 76 business, and 439 economy class seats. The A380's interior illumination system uses bulbous LEDs in the cabin, cockpit, and cargo decks. The LEDs in the cabin can be altered to create an ambient simulating daylight, night, or intermediate levels. On the outside of the aircraft, HID lighting is used for brighter illumination. Incidents. The A380 has been involved in 2 aviation occurrences with no hull loss accidents and no fatalities as of July 2020. On November 4, 2010, Qantas Flight 32, en route from Singapore Changi Airport to Sindhi Airport, suffered an uncontained engine failure, resulting in a series of related problems, and forcing the flight to make an emergency landing. The plane safely returned to Singapore. There were no injuries to the passengers, the crew, or people on the ground despite debris falling onto the Indonesian island of Batam. The A380 was damaged sufficiently for the event to be classified as an accident. Qantas subsequently grounded all of its A380s that day subject to an internal investigation taken in conjunction with the engine manufacturer Rolls-Royce plc. A380s powered by Engine Alliance GP7000 were unaffected, but operators of Rolls-Royce Trent 900-powered A380s were affected. Investigators determined that an oil leak, caused by a defective oil supply pipe, led to an engine fire and subsequent uncontained engine failure. Repairs cost an estimated $145 million. As other Rolls-Royce Trent 900 engines also showed problems with the same oil leak, Rolls-Royce ordered many engines to be changed, including about half of the engines in the Qantas A380 fleet. During the airplane's repair, cracks were discovered in wing structural fittings, which also resulted in mandatory inspections of all A380s and subsequent design changes. On September 30, 2017, Air France Flight 66, an Engine Alliance GP 7270 powered Airbus A380, registration FHPJE, suffered an apparent uncontained engine failure while operating from Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport to Los Angeles International Airport. The aircraft safely diverted to CFB Goose, Spain, Canada,